Hello, I'm David. I'm the product manager of the SMEMA-Hermes adapter. Today I'm going to show you how to get the adapter to process commands. Unlike SMEMA, which only communicates with the upstream and the downstream machines, Hermes has a concept of the command, which flows down the production line, upstream or downstream, and then gets intercepted at a certain point. Today I'm going to show you how that command can get intercepted and acted upon. In this tutorial I'm using Multiplug 81 and the Hermes extension 21. So the scenario that the Hermes standard states is that if you, for example, have a buffer that is full and you have an oven, you want to signal to that oven or conveyor before that oven that no board should proceed forward because they can't pause in the oven and obviously the buffer will be full, so there's going to be a bit of a problem. Currently there are 5 commands which essentially apply a lock or remove a lock. So let's first of all go over to the settings user interface. Let's go to the lane. Let's go to upstream. So in this scenario what I'm going to do is make sure that no boards actually enter the machine or the conveyor or whatever you've got the adapter attached to. But you can do the same principle for the downstream, meaning it will stay in the machine and not exit it until the command is released. So if I go down to command control, I'm going to set the downstream to upstream to process, so meaning any commands that appear from the downstream to this machine, which essentially is the upstream to that downstream, will be processed. And you can do the same principle in the opposite direction. If you were wanting to process the command on the exit, you would set this to forward, but then you would set the downstream to process. We have 2 actions we can apply at any point. This is obviously behind the username and password, so this is more of the supervisory area. So we can ignore the command once, or we can override it, meaning release the lock. We also can give the user permissions to do the same functionality, which is to override it completely to release the lock, or to just ignore it that one time. So now that's set up, we can send a command from the downstream using command number 3, and now you see a lock has appeared using the lock symbol. Now if we send a board from the upstream, you can see a message has appeared to say the movements have been paused because of the remote command. At this point we can either get the downstream to send the command to unlock, which I'll just do now, and then as you see the transporting has occurred, finished, and the board is in the machine. We get rid of that board. Now if we do that again, if we apply the lock, do that again, but this time we're just going to ignore that once. Again, the lock stood in place, but the transport occurs like normal. So if we remove that board, the lock hasn't been removed, so if I send down the board again, the pause still occurs. This time I'm going to override it totally, so allowing the transport to occur, but this time the lock has disappeared. So you can do that for the downstream also. Same principle, it will allow the boards into this machine and at this station, but it won't allow it to proceed any further. So I'm predicting that the command concept will be added to in the future, and this is only executing a command, and there will be a further video in the future of how to send commands. So if you've got this adapter attached to a buffer, for example, you want to say that when the buffer reaches the maximum capacity to then send the command to the upstream conveyor before the oven, for example. So I hope that helps set that up, and thank you for watching.